Hey guys, slightly different video today. Thought I'd share with you a section of a lesson that I gave yesterday with Tony, who's rated in the 800 to 900 range in Rapid right now and is wanting to improve, break through 1000. And so I think this is very, very instructive. If you're below 1000 in particular, then I think as you work through this, as Tony works through it and I'm working with him, you really get lots and lots of very, very valuable tips from this. I am sharing this with Tony's permission, of course, and also it gives you an idea of how I work or how you could work on your chess. Okay, so the way that I tend to do lessons when I'm working with a beginner or improving player is we might look through one or two of their previous games, and what we're looking for is what are the next steps along their journey, along their path to improving in chess, right? It's not very helpful for beginners and improvers to be looking at grandmasters playing bullet or blitz chess, because you simply can't keep up with the speed of thought. They are so familiar with the patterns of tactics and position and stuff like that, yeah, I mean, sometimes you can pick up some little crumbs from the table, but in general, I find it quite a dizzying, kind of confusing way to try and learn. So, as I've said before, the way to improve in chess is to identify, okay, what's on my edge right now between what I know and what I don't know, right? You don't want to try and learn everything at once. You don't want to drink from the fire hose with chess because you'll just be overwhelmed. So when I work with somebody, what we're looking for is each week we'll identify 2 or 3 areas that they need to be holding in their head or writing down next to their computer, so that they can refer to it throughout the week and all the games that they play. All right. Any more than that, I think, is just too much. It's overwhelm. Okay, so enjoy this. It's a really interesting lesson. We take on the Vinh bot that's 1300 rated, estimated on chess.com. Really interesting game. I think you'll enjoy it. Have a look. Okay, so should we work through a game and try and spot those? Working on not panicking and then breaking through.
Okay. That Pog Champs is good, actually.
Yeah.
Good entertainment. There were some really awful games, really bad games, but actually some of the games are really good. And the finals are coming up at the weekend.
Right.
That little English guy, is still in it, which is good.
Oh, nice.
He's being trained by Magnus Carlsen's mate, so he's got a good chance. So that's looking good. But there are some really bad games on there, and you think you've got these grandmasters commentating on them.
Yeah.
They must be like, oh my god, what a task, to have to commentate on a game that's so. I'm not, but some of them just haven't put the effort in, really.
Oh, so you've beaten Nelson.
Yeah, that was a brilliant. And I said I'll never go back and play him a game, and I did, and I beat him again. So
Really?
I think that'll do. Third time unlucky, I think so. Yeah, but yeah, the other guy, this guy's crafty.
Right. Let's have a crack at him, shall we?
Yeah, so we have a guy. Choose. What colour shall I be? Black.
Whatever you think. We'll go back.
Black. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you playing against E4?
Well, I like to play that sort of black lion, but is that all right to play against that?
Yeah. Black lion is normally against E4.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. It's only one I've really sort of tried to study.
Okay. The next move?
I would push. I would use a black knight somewhere.
Yeah, it's knight f6 is the second move.
Yeah.
Now, if he pushes his pawn, you can just take it.
Yeah.
Can you see why?
Yeah. Would it lead to a queen exchange? Well, let's take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I've got the
Yeah, now you can stop off queens, and then he can't castle. And then on the next move, you get your knight out of trouble.
okay.
There's only one move. And what's the right move now to put maximum pressure on your opponent?
Black knight D7.
Okay.
D7.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
no, I'll lose that, wouldn't I? Yeah.
Yeah. So attacks. You've got to spot your attacks.
Yeah, that's there. Knight G4.
G4. Yeah, I think we had that last week actually. Yeah. But what's G4 attacking?
Still attacking that pawn.
So if you play knight G4,
shall I do it?
well, or draw an arrow to it, or highlight the square, and then see what's your knight attacking from there. That's it.
Yeah, that.
F2, and F2 means that you're going to win material.
Oh yeah. We've got fork.
The rook can't move.
Is that a fork? Yeah. Forks. I'll do that.
Mm-hmm. So probably bring his bishop out to E3. Okay, so he's checked you.
A bit ag, isn't it? Yeah. So my natural instincts would be to block it with a pawn, but let's see if there's anything better. Well, I've got his. I could slide back, or defend it with a pawn, or even push out.
So if you bring your knight out and he captures, what happens?
Yeah, I would destroy my lovely structure. Yeah.
You get doubled isolated pawns. So I think here C6 is good, and the reason is because you're then counter-attacking the bishop. Then if he wants to save his bishop, he's got to move it, and that bishop can't move and protect the pawn on F2 because the pawn on F2 is on a dark square. So he can't defend his bishop and that vulnerable pawn.
Oh yeah, so looking ahead, he's lost sort of tempo, yeah.
But he's going to lose material.
Yeah, material. So kick it out.
Yeah, but you're right, this does come with tempo. That's an attacking, forcing move. Okay.
So I've won that, yeah.
You've won it, yeah.
Yeah. Nice one.
And he can't castle. Both his rooks are stuck. Okay. Now, can you goldfish? Could you start just by highlighting every undefended piece on his side of the board?
Yeah, let's go right there.
That's defended by.
Is that defended? Oh yes, I am. I'm not seeing. That isn't
Undefended. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. His pawns are defended. And correct. That's it.
Nice one. Yeah.
Right.
So lots to aim for. Yeah. So what I want to do is target those, but also develop. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. But I mean, you have got a free pawn.
Dogs. All right. Okay. So I've got and I won a free pawn, and I won a piece. So that's under threat. So I definitely want to consider not losing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and grab the pawn.
Yeah.
So that's where it should be, almost. Yeah, right in the middle. Got a nice area. So yeah, he's probably wanting me to take that so he can bring that out. Okay. So I could block that side off.
How would you do that?
Pushing 8 to A6.
Then if he captures.
Oh yeah, then he's got that. Yeah.
Then you recapture. He wins your rook.
Yeah, we don't want that. Just push past it, but then that's definitely isolated. So I don't really want to do that. Maybe. How can I protect that?
Yeah. So defending the pawn is what you want. So you either want to, if you think about it, you're under attack. Okay. Your options are do nothing and let him take it, move it, capture the attacker, or defend the attacked piece.
Yeah.
Now we've already figured out that pushing your pawn to A6 is not a good defense.
No.
Because you can't recapture or you lose your rook. So how else can you defend the pawn and develop?
Yeah, with my bishop. Yeah, at least it gets that piece out.
Yeah, it gets a piece out. And then if he captures, what will you do?
I'll take check.
Yep.
Yeah, it's quite nice. Yeah, shall I push it out? Get it in. Yeah, so it's threatening my knight.
Yep.
Again,
so where might go?
I can move it. It'll be go
there. It'll
there.
get taken. There, it'll get taken.
Yeah.
No, not that one. You can't go to G5.
Oh yeah, sorry. Anyway, there. But let's places it can like move is there.
And G4, technically, can go to G4, C4. Yeah.
And G4. Yep. Okay. Yeah, and G4.
Which of those is best? How about
that's kind of a backing off move that blocks everything in. That blocks bishop.
However, okay, but look at G6 again.
G6.
If you move your knight to G6, which is bottom left one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What does that?
It's attacking the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one idea.
That's the
What's
pawn,
wrong
yeah.
with C6?
C6.
Bottom right.
There it blocks in bishop.
Which allows him to do what?
Take. Yeah, take the pawn. Yeah.
And attacking your knight as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, okay, so let's think about this. If you move your knight to C6, okay, and he captures your pawn, what move could you play after that?
So it's here. Is there a checking possibility? Yeah, there's a check there.
And what else is that? If your knight ends up on that square, D4. If you draw the arrows, yeah. So knight to C6, not that one, the one that's under attack.
All right, and I see 6. Oh, there, yeah. And then from there,
one takes pawn, attacking your knight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go to D4. Check.
Check.
So what else is your knight attacking from that square?
From this position, the pawn.
Yes, you could actually win your pawn back if you did that.
Yeah. And a nice little move.
And similar value exchanges right now, who does that benefit?
Similar value.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 4 up, so me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so also simplifies the board, doesn't it? And that's what the trouble I was getting into the last 2-3 games is the board was so bogged down. If I could have got a pawn up and then started exchanging pieces, it simplifies the game, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing. What you do, I think what you do really well is make it sound simple, and it should be, but it should be, shouldn't it? Once if you start thinking clean and simple, when you're playing good chess, it is clean and simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're thinking 2 moves ahead right now.
Yeah.
So you've got, knight to G6 attacks the pawn, but then the pawn might just push up, or he'll just defend it by pushing his G pawn up, right?
Yeah.
Then your knight is actually
stuck
in that corner. So I think that's not your best bet. I'm thinking knight to C6 looks preferable, actually.
And tempo wise as well. Yeah, that would just lose tempo because they would just push that. Yeah. So let's actually try that. Let's hope he takes it, and then we know exactly what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I can go there.
And now you've also got another threat. You're actually attacking 2 pawns now.
Yeah. So
from
that as well.
D4, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get there and see what happens.
His king. What I would do. Okay. There you go.
Yeah. So take the pawn.
Yep. Take the pawn. Knight's protected.
Look at his king, man. Look where it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Floating out there in the middle. Okay. So yeah, we can reassess now, having done some good exchanges. So yeah, that's nice and exposed. What's not protected? That's unprotected.
Yeah.
That's unprotected. Yeah.
And technically the rooks, but
Yeah.
them.
Said not to do them. What? Yeah.
Okay, so at this point in time, tell me the story of the board. What are the?
Yeah, I'm still not developed.
Mhm.
All these pieces are still way back.
Yeah.
Not looking good. They could be out there doing stuff. So yeah, I want to carry on with my development whilst not losing.
Yeah, and he's also got no development. Like
No,
not
his pieces are back there.
all his pieces are on the back rank. And what about his king?
King is completely exposed. Pawn structure is fractured here with this here, hanging pawn. Well, not hanging, but yeah, in the middle.
Yeah. So
he's got a nice rank, a nice semi-open file there.
correct, yeah. So when his king's in the middle, when your opponent's king is vulnerable, what should you be thinking about doing?
Attack.
Yeah. So how can you bring more of your pieces into the attack?
Yeah, so I want to develop and attack simultaneously. I don't know if that's developing, but there.
I mean, that is an attack.
I want to get this knight out, really.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking at this point. Yeah, knight. If you play knight to there, so you've got other things that I see on the board, right, is that you've identified that the A file is semi-open, which benefits your opponent right now, because it's his pawn that's gone, which means that his rook has loads of scope. Your rook has less. But what else? What other files are opened up?
You've got C file.
C file is semi-open, yeah.
And the E file.
E file is semi-open. And what else?
F was.
No, F is good.
No.
F, G, and H are good, but the D file has no pawns on it at all.
Oh yeah.
So what I'm thinking about in terms of wanting to attack your opponent now is quite aggressive. But if you play your knight out, then you've got another very aggressive move.
What castle?
Yeah. And where will I put your rook?
On the D file, yeah, which is
yeah.
Nice one, yeah.
Then you've got possibilities of a discovery.
Yeah.
For example, bishop c6, right? So if you imagine your castle, your king's on c8, your rook's on d8. If his king's still there, look at bishop c6, yeah?
Yeah, which then
and there's no way, because he's in check, he's got to move his king.
Yeah.
He can't defend the pawn, and also he can't defend the rook.
Yeah, that's nice, yeah.
But however, your knight might be on that square. So
might not be what that where?
Yeah, so I mean, you could put your knight on a6, which is looks a little bit odd, but it's temporary.
Yeah.
And that leaves c6 free for your bishop. Potentially.
Yeah.
It's a thought.
Yeah, should do.
Or you can go a little bit safer, a little bit less aggressive, and play knight c6, which is more central and generally better positional move.
Yeah. Should we stick it on there? Stick it there. Because I like that idea of getting down into the corner here.
Great. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do that.
And if his rook takes, he's just going down the exchange.
Yeah.
Yes, put your pawns.
So that's threatening my knight, which is protected anyway.
Yeah.
With check coming if that happens. So yeah, castle would be good, I think, at this point.
Let's do it.
And also sort of protects my king. Yeah.
Okay. Now, right. Now, what do we think about your plan with bishop c6? What's that bishop doing right now?
C6. Yeah, well, that put it in check. Still giving me that opening there.
But what job has your bishop got right now?
It's defending the knight.
Which is under attack. So,
yeah,
but you'd be looking at winning a pawn and a rook and maybe losing a knight. So that's possibly not a bad thing.
No.
So arguably you could safely go ahead with that idea. You can also move your knight to c7 at some point if you want to. Your aim well, either one, but yeah, the knight on the a file, you could move to c7 and defend your other knight if you wanted to.
Bit of protection, yeah. Yeah, so shall I move the bishop to see what happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, so that's given us that opening there nicely. It does come and take this, then it threatens. That's okay.
So your knight's defended, both your knights are defended. Actually, everything apart from your pawn on f7 is actually defended right now. But look at his king. Look how far his king's come out. It's in your half of the board.
You don't see that much, yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, right now, yes, you've got the idea of capturing on g2 and winning the rook, maybe at the expense of your knight. So how could you maybe ensure that you can still carry out that rook capture and protect your knight at the same time?
Okay, so the knight.
Think about forcing moves. Can you play a move which means your opponent has to respond?
Well, I check. Oh yes, yeah. So that good?
Yeah, that would kind of do it, but that's blocking off your bishop.
Oh yeah.
There is a move that you can play now, which forces your opponent to respond, and means that he will definitely not get a chance to protect his rook or take your knight.
So you're talking about a check?
Yeah. Checks are the most forcing moves because you've got to get out of check.
So that's a check.
Yeah, you can capture it.
Doesn't do much there.
How can you protect your knight, get it out of trouble with check? There you go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that backs off from that threat. Yeah, puts that under check.
So it removes the threat against the knight, and it means that your bishop is now, because currently your bishop's got two jobs. It's currently defending your knight on b5, and it's trying to attack and capture on g2, h1.
Yeah. Yeah, so shall I do that? Let's do that. See what it does. Having a bit of a dance.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's given me that opportunity now without feeling under threat.
Yeah, and the king can't reach it, so
right. So grab it.
Yeah.
Grab.
Go for it.
That's okay. I still get it.
And your bishop still has that entire diagonal to. Okay. Right.
Okay, let's reassess now.
Talk me through this.
So we're 10 points ahead, which is nice. Under threat. That's under threat.
And that's quite an important pawn. It's one of your king's defenders. Your king was probably going to want to duck behind those pawns at some point.
Yeah. What's under threat?
Yeah, the f7 pawn. Yeah, everything's actually defended right now, apart from that a7 pawn and your bishop in the corner. So how can you neutralize the threat against your pawn?
This pawn here. I don't really want to move the B pawn
No.
because it's going to be protection. So threaten. How can I threaten that?
And
Or block?
I'm thinking more threatening. So yeah, how can you threaten the bishop? In fact, how can you win the bishop?
Oh, that's good. Oh, there's a pin. Nice pin there.
Fork.
Fork, yeah, fork.
Yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
It goes with check. So the king has to move. And then you can just simply take the bishop off the board.
It'd be good. And he can't even move to protect it.
He can move to f2, I think.
Yeah, but he can't protect. Can he protect this?
If the king moves to f2, it's defending the bishop, but then it's a nice exchange.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Is this an open or a closed position right now?
It's pretty open, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But all the pawns pretty much are free to move.
These are the games I like, yeah.
What that means is open positions favour which pieces, which minor pieces?
Rooks and bishops.
Yeah, bishops love open positions. Bishops struggle in closed positions. You know, when the pawns are locked off against each other, bishops have a lot less scope. And then knights come into their own when the position's closed. And right now, we've got a wide open board. So bishops love that. So if you've got a position like this, and you get the opportunity to trade a knight for a bishop, then do it, because your opponent now has only one long range piece on the board. If you capture that bishop, he's only got a rook.
Yeah.
That's his only long range piece. Apart from that, he's only got knights, which are short range fighters.
Yeah. They've got small reach. So yeah, exchange.
Definitely, yeah.
Exchange. Go.
Okay. Now you're in a totally winning position.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've not even pushed any of these pawns. Had to push any of these yet. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a case of reassessing now and just checking what's available for pickings.
Yeah.
Got that one there, I think.
You've got to bear in mind a potential discovery against your bishop. If that knight moves, then your bishop's under attack by the rook. But that might not be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because that knight can't really move with any kind of threat. It's on the other end of the board from your king. His knights are pretty toothless right now.
Yeah.
So if you were wanting to play like defensively and just like consolidate your position, then something like bishop to c6 in front of your king would be solid. Yeah, or if you want to be more aggressive, then you want to think about getting your dark square bishop into the game, and also then bringing your other rook in, because your rook on h8 right now. Remember we talked last week about take a survey of your pieces, say which pieces are doing a good job and which pieces aren't. Right now, your bishop and your rook doing bugger all.
Yeah. So I want to bring them into the game, really. Yeah.
Yes, I wouldn't worry about your light square bishop.
No.
I think it looks quite healthy.
Yeah, it's quite happy there.
It's got that whole diagonal it can escape on. So
also it stops the king moving down.
Yeah, it's covering some squares.
Okay, so yeah, I want to carry on with development really after grabbing 10 points.
Yeah.
So what can I do that's safe? Developing move. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I reckon e6 or g6 is fine.
E6.
Depends which diagonal. Where do you want your bishop to be, really?
Yeah.
With e6, you've got the option of snatching his knight.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So what just happened?
Right. So he's moved his knight out.
Which means
is he threat? He's going to be threat. Oh yeah, I'm under threat from the rook here.
Yeah.
Right down there. Yeah.
So you've got really two options right now.
I'm not necessarily trapped by it, am I? I could move it just there.
Yeah.
Or I can attack this piece. Oh,
So it's up to you, really. I mean, this is just a value, a judgment call. If you remember what we just said about bishops and knights, you've still got the bishop pair.
yeah, I want to keep. Yeah.
So it might be worth even writing down a list of, when you're under attack, these are the different options that you've got, right? If you've got anything to write on there. Okay, so let's go through all the options when you're under attack. Okay, so probably at the bottom of the list is ignore the attack and sacrifice your piece.
Ignore,
if it's under yeah, and that's a possibility, right? Option 2 is evade, so run away, move the attacked piece.
Yeah.
Option 3, defend the attacked piece. Option 4, capture the attacking piece.
What about force check or something like that?
Well, yeah, another one is counterattack. So if you can attack a piece of higher value than the one that's being attacked, you've turned the tables.
Yeah.
So out of that list, which of those are possible right now?
Well, I'd love to do an exchange. The rook for the bishop.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't think you've got a way of doing that right now.
No.
Okay, so
I can run. I can run away, evade. Don't want to ignore it really at all.
Yeah, you've got one square you could run away to, which is G2.
Yeah. I could. Can I defend it at all?
Another one. Sorry, Tony. Is interpose a piece.
Oh yeah, interpose.
You can put a piece in the way, and break the attacking line, basically. Yeah, and that's not possible with knights, but it's possible with rooks and queens. And
that can cause a bit of a. Is it a pin?
Yeah, you could end up pinning your own piece. Yeah, but it is an option. If you can move a pawn in the way and break an attacking line, then great.
Oh look, what I have seen. I don't know.
Yeah,
creates a check,
and that is a counterattack.
Yeah. So if he moves that out of the way and grabs that.
Well, he's only got one move, so he's got to move that out of the way first.
Yeah, and then I can get out if I wanted to. Well.
And what else is good about moving your bishop right now?
Well, it develops, yeah.
Yeah, it develops and connects your rooks.
Yeah, that's it.
So can you see where, the beginner thinking is, oh no, my bishop, I must move my bishop.
Yeah.
On my next move. And then you stop thinking, you stop coming up with candidate moves. You know what you have to do and you just do it, right? But if you think, well, actually, is there a counterattack? And I think bishop c5 check,
yeah,
is a great counterattack because it also liberates your other rook.
Yeah, some nice development. Yeah,
the king can't attack your bishop.
Yeah, shall I do that? Let's do that. See what he does. Got to move that. Okay. Yeah. Right. So now it's protecting that.
Your bishop's still under threat. Yeah. So if I was playing blitz right now, I'd probably not think twice about just swapping the bishop off with the knight. But because you've got such a big material advantage, you're up a whole rook and a minor piece and 2 pawns. So you've got a huge material advantage.
Bishop for the knight.
You could even swap off both your bishops and both his knights on the next 2 moves if you wanted to.
Yeah, but like you said, the knight's quite useful in this sort of game, aren't
they? The bishops, yeah.
The bishops, yeah. So it wouldn't be a great exchange, would it?
It wouldn't be a great exchange, but on on the other side, you are simplifying the board. And
Yeah,
then you'd be in a position, if you like grab both of his knights and he recaptures, then you're in a situation where you've got two rooks and a knight and a relatively safe king against one rook.
yeah, it does sound better that way, doesn't it? Yeah. I could at least grab this one then. Shall I grab this knight?
Your call. But
Yeah. Because I don't really want him.
then we can go into an ending, and it should be straightforward. How do you find your end games? Do you tend to do well or poorly?
Yeah, I mean, on analysis, actually, it quite surprises me sometimes. I make intuitive moves that are often okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's okay. I mean, especially if you're left with a couple of pieces that are doable. You know, if it's let's say it's a rook and a king, that could be tricky. Although it's doable, isn't it?
Mm.
Somebody on PogChamps had a king against a rook and a king, and he quit, resigned, and they said never resign on that. You've always got an opportunity.
It depends how they're arranged, yeah.
Yeah,
But there are situations where you should be able to force a draw. We can actually look at that.
Yeah, I'm never going to get a stalemate again, he says. Stalemate. Yeah, I did have one recently, and that it was awful. After about 40 moves, you know, you get stalemate.
Yeah.
So next time I played, I cleared all the pieces out of the way and just, you know, give the king a little bit of wiggle room, give the king an opportunity to move, and I finished it, and I was quite pleased.
Nice one.
So, okay, let's back to this game. Next move.
Okay, well, think about principles right now. You want to take the game to your opponent. You want to attack. Good pieces, bad pieces. Okay, I think that's the right idea. So that rook right now is not playing any part in your attack. But what's a good way to get it into the attack?
Push the pawns.
That's one idea. I think f5 looks interesting because it takes away some squares from the king. But in general, if you want to attack with your rooks, then having them on the same file is a good idea. So doubling up your rooks, especially when you've got two rooks against one.
Oh yeah.
And right now you're occupying the open file. There's only one open file on the board, which is the D file, and you've got that. So how can you solidify your control over that file and do it with a forcing move as well?
If I put that up there, that just stops him coming down here. And
what's more forcing than that?
We've got a check, yeah. Nothing more forcing than a check.
Yep.
Yeah, and that stops any development, any ideas from them coming.
Yeah. And then if he goes onto one of those light squares towards your rook.
If it goes there, I can double. No, I can't. No.
Yeah.
Well, I'm all right.
Yeah, you can. You can bring your other rook across the d8 and defend the attack piece.
Yeah, that's it. Stop it being a threat. Yeah, can't slide it further enough. But yeah. So let's try that. Stack them.
So you see what you're doing here, you're using forcing moves to exert your will on the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen a king move so.
No.
That's the whole square, isn't it? Every
steps in today, hasn't it? When it gets home and pulls its phone out, it's going to go, "Wow, I did 15,000 steps today."
Yeah.
I've hit my goal. Okay, so a couple of ideas now. You've got continue with your plan of bring your other rook across to double up. That makes perfect sense. But you've also got a tactic to win a pawn.
Okay. I could do a forcing check and then.
So fork. double attack on the king and the pawn.
Mm.
That leaves your opponent with 3 completely isolated pawns.
Yeah, I'll be worried if he then did that.
And then you capture his knight with your bishop.
Oh yeah, I didn't say that. Yeah, yeah, it's like that. Yeah.
So that's also removing one of the defenders from the knight, which means that the rook is then stuck in the defense of the knight.
Yeah, yeah. So try that.
Yeah. So you're removing your opponent's options still further.
If I did bring that up as a defense, I'd lose that opportunity, would I?
Not necessarily, but you might do. It depends what he does next.
That would be my safety move. But yeah, let's try that one.
That's, yeah, it's good thinking. Yeah.
And so now, shall I grab that pawn?
Yeah, you can grab the pawn.
It's all right. So he's threatening my pawn. Just take it, I suppose.
You can do.
So, okay, so he's threatening my rook there. Doesn't look to be a huge problem, really. So what can I do with this? I can move. I don't know. I could just move that out the way there. That's just running.
Yeah, running from a less powerful piece as well. So what can you do that's threatening right now?
Threaten. Nothing there, is there?
Not really. No.
Push. I don't really want to push that, do I?
No.
No.
There's actually a piece on the board that he can't defend if you attack it.
Okay, what can I attack? Can't defend.
And think your rook's under attack, so your next move has to move the rook, really. I mean, you could, suppose, deliver check with the bishop on f2, but it's not very interesting.
No. Don't know. So what can I threaten? I'm looking for a threat, yeah?
Yeah, and you need to move your rook.
So if I can threaten with the rook.
So if you think about process of elimination, which white piece can you threaten that can't be defended?
All right, so it's back to checking. That's not defended.
But the only square that you can move to attack the knight is what?
It's taken, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. So you can't attack the knight.
No. I mean, I could. That threatens that piece.
Yeah, that's the move.
Oh, yeah.
And behind it is the knight as well, so it comes with another attack. Now, how could he defend the pawn, potentially, if you move there? The knight can't defend it because it's on the opposite colour right now, so if the knight moves, it's going onto the dark square, so it can't defend a dark square from a dark square.
No, it's pretty useless moving his rook.
If he moves his rook there, so if your rook's on c2...
Oh, he could bring it up.
Can he?
Or if he went there, and then he's got that to defend it with.
I know, but what have you got to attack it?
Oh yeah, I've got my bishop there.
Yeah. So his rook can't defend the pawn.
No. Lovely lines, right. So yeah, shall I put it there? Yeah, let's go there. Yeah. So when someone makes a knight move, is it worth just checking what's behind their thinking?
Oh, for sure. Well, any move.
Yeah, any move.
So what's he looking at now?
He's probably attacking my rook. He goes there.
And the pawn. So
yeah, takes the pawn and he goes there.
let's just refer to your list of options when you're under attack.
So that pawn is under attack. I can threaten. I can run and threaten. Defend it.
Okay, so yeah, back to the list.
Yep. So threaten. I mean, defend. I think at this point, I would say defend my.
Yeah, you can defend the pawn. So let's run through the list.
So I can ignore it.
Which doesn't make any sense.
No, I can run, which can't. Well, I can, but
Where can you move your pawn?
only one place. Run and threaten.
And that comes with the threat on the knight. Yeah.
Still, that's worry. Capture, which is
capture the attacker. No, you can't capture the attacker on your next move.
Counter attack. What was that sound of that? Counter attack or interpose. Can't interpose a knight, can you?
Okay. There's two things, and I've forgotten one as well. Right. Counter attacks. You do have a counter attack. So yeah. So attacking a higher value piece.
Yeah.
There is a counter attack on the board.
So yeah, can't be many. It's got to be that. So yeah, looking at not a force check, but maybe having a go at the rook.
The thing is, in open space, a rook can't attack a rook because it'll get taken by the rook.
Yeah.
Right? But you can attack the king on your next move.
Yeah, just a simple that.
Yeah. But there's one other thing that I missed off the list, which you should probably add, is pin the attacker, which I've just noticed.
Pin attacker.
So the attacker can't capture if it's pinned.
Okay. Oh, I see, yeah. Looking at the diagonal here, yeah, so, yeah. Yeah, and he'll probably go, or then probably go there. Yeah, so that it does pin it. Yeah, it does stop him moving.
Yeah, and I think you can actually win the knight.
Well, that happened to my queen a couple of weeks ago. It got pinned, and that was it. Yeah. She's gone.
Yeah, you got to be open for pins.
Oh God!
And the pattern you're looking for is you've got a dark square bishop. He's got two pieces on a dark square diagonal. So your brain should go pin ? Oh yes.
Okay. So the bishops, yeah. Look at the color, and then look for pins.
Yeah. Are there any pieces in line?
In line. Yeah, I like that. So
likewise, if it's a rook and you've got two pieces that are on the same horizontal or vertical line.
Yeah, so pin that. I could exchange it.
Yeah, there's a better move than exchanging it.
I mean, I've got a free pawn there.
Mm-hmm.
Better move.
It's a pawn move, and it wins the knight.
Wins the knight. Oh, it's pinned, isn't it? So I could push that.
Yeah. And the tactic is called attacking the pinned piece.
Ah, right.
The knight is in an absolute pin, which means it cannot legally move. Therefore, if you can attack it, ideally with a lower value piece, then it's yours.
When you get a pin, attack. Yeah.
The pin piece, yeah.
It's like literally pinned to the floor.
Yeah.
So yeah, grab it. Let's think about which one.
One's definitely better than the other.
Pawn. I'm thinking because then it's protected by that.
But if you capture the bishop,
they're protected by that, yeah.
Each other. So the bishop in front of the pawn is probably better. And what else about if you put your bishop on e5?
Yeah, I've got an attack on this.
Yeah, that's actually pinning the pawn.
Oh yeah, can't move.
The pawn can't move because otherwise you'll take the rook, and the rook
Oh yeah, and there's that as well.
You're actually attacking almost everything on the board.
Oh, look at that. Okay, so I could just clean up some pawns, or
You've got 2 pawns at your mercy now.
yeah, probably that one there. So I'll grab that.
Why not?
And then that one.
Yeah.
Grab that. Right, now I can bring out. Okay.
So a really nice pattern to remember in endings like this is when you can put a bishop and a pawn next to each other so that they're both defending each other. So if your bishop goes back to e5, because, right, what move would you love to play right now?
Oh, I want to checkmate.
Okay, so let's look at how to do that. Did we start on the hour or on half hour, didn't we? Half hour.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go for a quick checkmate. Okay?
Yeah.
If you move your rook back now to c4.
Let's see. Let's do it now. There.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Right, that it now means that the king cannot move anywhere on the 4th rank.
No, can't go up there. Yeah.
Okay. Now,
yeah,
if you move your bishop to e5,
we can't have it yet.
then it's defending the f6 pawn, right? Previously, the f6 pawn was defended only by the g pawn.
Yeah.
And if you push your g pawn now,
that's protected by
where
that.
can his king go? Oh, I can go there. I missed that.
Well, we've still got this.
Okay, well, let's throw in another check.
Yeah.
How about, I think maybe the other rook.
I'll bring that down there.
Yeah, you've also got a knight. The knight can also check, but okay, right. Can you colour in on the board the squares where the king can currently go?
Right,
I do this all the time.
Go there. It can go. It can go there.
Yep.
It can't go there.
Can.
There. Yeah, that's it. Is that it?
That's it. Okay,
yeah.
So what you want to do now is you want to be thinking about how can you remove all of those squares from the king.
Yeah, I mean that's that would get rid of
that, and it would put the king in check. So that would be a really nice one to finish with in a way, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So maybe. Oh shit! Slide. Yeah, and I'm blocking off that.
Okay. How about play that rook to d8 to remove the whole d file?
Oh yeah. So I'll do it.
Yeah, all the way to d8. Yep. And he's just going to move around with his rook. Okay. Now where can the king go?
Okay, so it can't go. We've taken up the d file. We can still go there.
Can it? What have we just
done?
Oh,
no, so we just done d file. Yeah.
Oh, it's out of commission.
Yeah, it goes there. It can go there.
Yeah.
2 squares left. Yeah.
Go on then. Finish him off.
With the with this.
How can you remove those 2 final squares and then deliver mate on your next move?
That would block those 2 squares off.
It would do. Yeah.
And then you've got to go for that square with the
knight or the rook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can move either rook now to the 7th rank will work.
Let's keep it nice and neat.
No, not there. You've already got the D file. That's fine.
Yeah.
You've done that.
Let's do that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And now check. Ooh. Oh,
we didn't see that one.
Devil.
How do we not see that one?
Go on then. Checkmate him now.
Can you?
What squares can he go to?
Go back.
No, it's covered by the knight.
Oh yeah, knight. It's covered that. Yeah, we just we can't go anywhere, can he?
Correct. So all you need to do is put him in check. You've got a spare piece. There you go.
That along there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Brilliant.
There you go. Good game.
But it's come down again to nice clean chess, and the fact that we got it down to a king that's struggling all over the place. Broke them down, really broke him down.
Yeah.
Piece by piece.
Yeah. So what I do is I probably recommend that you play through this then a couple of times and think, okay, what would your first reaction be faced with this thing? And then what did we do in the game with me prompting?
Yeah.
And that's how you'll learn to adapt and evolve your thought process. Because I didn't do anything particularly, clever there, but I think the key thing is thinking about all your options. And I think one really important thing to take away is that list when you're under attack, right? So the beginner will think either exchange the piece or run away, and then you stop thinking.
Yeah, it's passive, isn't it?
7 or 8 things that you can do when you're under attack. And, I even forgot about pin the attacker.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
Until the opportunity arose.
Which is more proactive, isn't it, rather than just reacting all the time. Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, thank you so much. And I'll see what next week brings me.
Yeah. Okay, so this week you're just going to work on not panicking when you're under attack.
Yeah, working a way out of it.
Have that checklist handy.
Yeah.
So which of these can I actually do?
Brilliant.
In this position, and that's it. Brilliant.
Excellent. Yeah. Okay,
and I will send you the link to the recording when it's done. It'll be about half an hour. And
the bullet points, just to reiterate. Yeah, in case I've forgotten anything. Yeah, brilliant. So thank you so much, Ben.
No worries.
Appreciate it. And I'll speak to you soon.
Okay. Good luck this week, mate.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Right. Bye then.
Cheers, mate. Bye.